Hi everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with another 5 on Friday. Today's 5 on Friday is a little bit late incoming. It is 5 new to me authors of 2019. I know a lot of people did their end of year wrap-ups back in January, but I'm a little bit late to the party. But whatever, we're just gonna go with it. So let's get into it. So author number 1 is a little bit of a stretch because I technically read one of this author's books years ago, but then never thought I would read another one again until last year. That author is Stephen King. So years ago, I read The Shining for a book club. It was all right, but I was like, I'm never going to read another Stephen King book. I don't like horror. It's not my thing. I don't like scary things. I'm never going to read another book. Then I read Sleeping Beauties at the beginning of last year, which is co-authored by Stephen King and his son, Owen King. I enjoyed it. It was okay. It wasn't life-changing or anything. I mean, it made me think, but it wasn't anything life-changing. And then I read Misery towards the end of last year. I really enjoyed this. What Misery showed me was just what a fantastic author Stephen King is. I mentioned this when I wrapped this book up, but Stephen King's ability to tell the story that he told in such a limited setting with the limited characters is amazing. And I want to read more Stephen King to see if all of his stories are like that. Yeah, it was a little bit creepy, and I'm a little bit scared to read some of his other stuff because I don't like scary things. I'm not a big scary movie person, but his storytelling has me intrigued enough to read some more, hopefully this year. The second author I discovered last year and quickly decided I couldn't get enough is Kristen Hanna. So I read The Great Alone and The Nightingale both last year. Both of those are historical fictions by Kristen Hanna, and I really enjoyed both of them. I know that Kristen Hanna does not write exclusively historical fiction. It just happens to be that the 2 books that I've read by her are historical fiction. I really want to try her more contemporary works. I have a couple up there that I'm borrowing. I'm hoping that her character building is as good in her contemporaries as her historical fictions, because I love the characters in her books. I loved the sisters in The Nightingale, and I loved the mother-daughter duo in The Great Alone. So I really want to try some of her contemporary works and, some of her other historical fictions as well. I just want to read more of her in general. Number 3 is an author who I discovered and quickly read all of his works last year, and that is Riley Sager. I started with The Last Time I Lied, read Final Girls, and Lock Every Door as well. I devour Riley Sager's books. I could read them in easily a weekend, if not a day. They move so fast. I mean, I know when I was reading actually Final Girls and Lock Every Door, I read them the last half in one sitting because you just want to keep reading. You get invested in his main characters and you are rooting for them. You're like, get yourself out of this situation, girl. He has, again, really great characters. The plot twists are always good. I love them. So excited for his new book to come out this summer. I can't wait. I will probably read it the instant I get it. So if you like thrillers, I highly recommend Riley Sager because I have loved all 3 of his books that are currently out. Cannot wait for number 4. These last 2 authors, if you have followed my channel for a while, shouldn't come as a surprise. I talk about them a lot in any video I've done where I talk about my favorite books or favorite authors or anything like that. But I love both of these next 2 authors. That's why I saved them for last, because they are probably two of my new favorite authors. So the first one is Taylor Jenkins Reid. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was the first book I read by her. I have read all but I think one of her current books, which I need to read ASAP. Taylor Jenkins Reid's stories are so captivating, especially like these three, Maybe in Another Life, After I Do, and When True Loves. I love these because the characters are very relatable. They are like, women around my age in these interesting, difficult situations, and reading about them, I find her characters to be very relatable. I mean, even Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones are interesting, intriguing characters. I just found the characters in these ones to be a little bit more relatable because I'm not a rock star, nor am I an actress. Taylor Jenkins Reid is another author who I can read, and I think I did read all of her books, again, in like one weekend. I could possibly do it in one sitting. You just want to keep reading. You want to see what happens with the characters, with the relationships, like how it all ends up and what the resolution is. So I love me some Taylor Jenkins Reid. Last, but definitely not least, in fact, I think I saved my favorite, my best for last, and that is Ellen Hildebrand. Summer of '69 was my favorite book of 2019. I read this, loved it, and read a few other books by Ellen Hildebrand last year and just fell in love. I went on a Ellen Hildebrand book buying binge towards the end of last year. I just fell in love with her writing style. So Summer '69 is a historical fiction. Loved that, but I've also read some books that are not historical fiction by her, and again, loved the stories. A lot of her other books, such as The Rumor and I don't have it, Nantucket Nights, have a little bit of a mystery element. Not like murder mystery, but there's a little bit of that mystery, and you are trying to figure out what happens. I also love the setting of Ellen Hildebrand's books. All of the books by her that I have read so far have been set in Massachusetts. I live in Connecticut, so they're really close to me, but I've also never been to the places that she chooses as the setting of her books. And reading these books makes me want to go visit Nantucket and Boston. Technically, I went to Boston a few weeks ago, but that's besides the point. She writes, the way that she describes the places are just so appealing, and I want to visit them. Ellen Hildebrand is probably my favorite new author so far. Since joining BookTube and being able to discover new authors through other people and other people's recommendations. So these are 5 authors that I discovered last year in 2019 that I have decided I definitely need to have more of in my life. I love all of these authors, want to read more of them, recommend them to anybody that is looking for new authors to try out, depending on your genre of choice. Horror, thriller, historical fiction, contemporary. We have them all represented here. Don't have any fantasy though. Sorry about that. Let me know down below what authors you discovered last year. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy reading. Bye!